Hey everyone, this is the Bearded Zeno, and I gotta talk about something a little concerning here. And we've all, most of us here are fans of Aliens, Colonial Marines, right? In one form or the other, bug hunt, some of us like the campaign, stuff like that. So we are no stranger to graphical downgrades, right? The whole infamous E3 demo with ACM, and how the release looked nothing like that even on PC. Well, a game recently released by the name of Watch Dogs. You might have heard of it. And of course, I've did a shit ton of coverage here of it on the channel. And that game does not look like the E3 footage that we were shown, especially in 2012. Personally, I think it looks, it's a beautiful game. It's by no means the most beautiful game I've ever seen. But it is definitely very good and very pleasing to look at. But, those graphics that they showed at E3 2012, those are so good. So good. The explosions were so good. The texture details were so good. The particle effects were so good. The lighting, everything was so amazing. And apparently they said there is no downgrade. They have been proven wrong. Want to know how? Modders found the fucking source code for the E3 effects in the goddamn game. Modders have activated these effects, these graphical upgrades. Now, initial reports were saying that activating these would ruin your GPU, that it would just, completely bog down your system, so a lot of people just ignored it for a couple weeks. Well, a group of modders actually decided to push themselves, and once they cracked the mod, it actually made the game run better. Better! Now, we all know, people who have played Watch Dogs know, is that it has performance issues on all systems, specifically stuttering on every single system, including PC, where you should not have stuttering. Okay, even with a beast PC, you should have no fucking problems playing a game. If you have problems, it's the game's fault, not your system. Watch Dogs had problems on every single system, so therefore it was the game. People were just like, oh, it was just a poorly optimized game. It's just a game. Maybe they'll fix it. Who knows? And we weren't sure for the graphical downgrades. Ubisoft kind of convinced us that this was just a target render, all that stuff. This was never in the game. Turns out that was all fucking wrong. All those files exist inside the PC version, and with this mod, you can activate them. So all that shit is on the fucking downloader, on the disc, and it's locked away. And I have a fucking theory why, and it really pisses me off if this is true. And I'm not the only one that shares this theory. I think Sony is the reason. If you notice, all the marketing was for Sony. Sony had this big deal with Ubisoft. Hell, Sony's even making a movie out of Watch Dogs through their Sony Pictures. Sony had the mind share for Watch Dogs, saying, "Oh, it's the first true next-gen game. Buy it on PlayStation 4 with exclusive content." Every single trailer was nothing but PS4 footage. Every single trailer was nothing but buy the game on PS4. Buy the game on PS4. Basically, it was Sony wanting to push their new system. They paid off Ubisoft to have nothing but marketing for nothing but PlayStation 4. Right? Now, this whole rumor and theory that's going around is that Sony made them nerf the PC version so the gap would not be as big between PS4 and PC. We've known for a long time that PC was the lead platform on Watch Dogs, right? It was in development for 5 years. 5 long years. during the beginning of that cycle, for like the first 3 years, PS4 and Xbox One didn't exist. They didn't even know about it. They were developing the game for PC, 360, and PS3. So they were figuring, oh, hey, we're going to have this big graphical showcase, this big graphical powerhouse showcase on PC, and then we'll just have a port of the game on 360 and PS3 to help, to compete with, the next Grand Theft Auto. Well, the whole theory is that Sony came along. Well, hang on, let me start. I'm skipping a part. I'm sorry. It's almost midnight. Kind of. Anyways, once the new consoles got announced, they're like, hey, everybody's saying, this is a visual game. This screams next gen to them. And they're probably planning, once they unveil the game, like, oh, we know these systems are coming. We don't know the exact specs yet, but we're going to port these over. But the game was never built from the ground up for PS4 or Xbox One. So literally what we got was a much prettier version of PS3 and 360 ports. It's no different than Tomb Raider Definitive Edition compared to Tomb Raider on 360. So, I think the whole clusterfuck here is that Ubisoft didn't have the time to optimize a PC downgrade for PS4 and Xbox One. And that's probably what the whole delay was for. Trying to optimize it, and probably downgrading the PC version. And if you noticed, ever since the PS4 got announced, it was nothing but PS4 marketing for Watch Dogs. So we've known that Sony has money had at Ubisoft, for the mind share for Watch Dogs. The on PS4. It's for God's sakes, Aiden is on the back of my PS4 box. So it's kind of it's pretty much associated with PlayStation. I mean, even that big mural that they painted at E3 this year that had all the people in like the American Revolution. Fuck! I'm really stumbling on my words. Revolutionary War. The famous painting where they're going through the ice. George Washington holding the flag, all that shit. Aiden is in that. So definitely Sony views this as a pseudo-exclusive. They've certainly sunk enough money into it, and like I said, they're even producing a movie for Watch Dogs through Sony Pictures. So the running theory here is that Sony paid for the downgrade of the PC version. That's not fucking okay. That's not. Now, I don't really care about the PC port, because my PC sucks, and I'm mainly playing on consoles, because this is better than this. I can't use this for shooters. I'm sorry. Watchdog does not agree with me. But a lot of people do. And it's completely unfair for PC people to get screwed over like this and then get treated like idiots when they find the fucking source code. Ubisoft is literally saying this does not exist, and they're probably going to patch it out so the mod doesn't work in the next update. And of course, they're not going to officially update it because their marketing deal with Sony, they literally cannot have the PC version looking that much advanced over the PS4 version, because that would be terrible for Sony. They're saying, oh, this is the most advanced system we've ever had. It's the most advanced system on the market. It's the best place to play Watch Dogs. And this stuff that they found inside the game makes that completely untrue. The best place to play Watch Dogs is on PC. The game, with these updates that they found inside the source code, the game runs 100% better, is completely optimized, and visually it looks fucking stunning. What the fuck did you do, Ubisoft? What the fuck? I know this is probably Sony's idea, but you shouldn't have taken their money. You're probably already too late. Get canceled, get all kinds of lawyers involved, and there'll be this big hullabaloo. But you need to come public. if this is the fucking case, you need to come public. Because this looks really bad for you. Really bad for you. And Sony is just mopping it up. Mopping it up. And honestly, it totally makes sense for Sony to do that. I mean, they're a company. They have a brand new product coming out. They're going to slip you money. So it looks like the best version is going to be on their console. It's really simple. It makes a shit ton of sense. What doesn't make sense is for you, Ubisoft, to completely fuck over an entire group of gamers. Now, from what I've gathered, you've never really been good with PC ports anyways. But to have a game have a game that has PC as its lead platform, you show this amazingly high-tech, graphically advanced game, and you downgrade it so it can match a console version just so you can make a few extra bucks. That is fucking low. Now, I love Watch Dogs. I was playing it today. Got an Xbox One copy right here. I was not swayed by the exclusive content on PS4. Achievements and the controller wins me over. I love this game. This game is a lot of fun to play. And I recommend you buy it. It is a really fun game. But if all you have is a PC, I don't know if I can recommend it to you. Console, pick it up. It's a damn fine game. PC, you should not support Ubisoft. You should not support Ubisoft and this dubious shit. You shouldn't. Hell, fucking pirate the game. I'd do it. If you want to play it, pirate it. Stick it to Ubisoft. That is terrible. You shouldn't do this, Ubisoft. You shouldn't do this. You deserve to have your game pirated for something this low. This is dirty. That's terrible. That is really fucking terrible. The thing is, you can actually play the game. Like that E3 2012 demo. In some instances, it actually looks better than the E3 2012 demo. And it makes the game run better. I go, you release a game that runs like shit on PC, and you have the necessities inside the code to make it run better. Why wouldn't you? You're screwing over somebody else just to please one person. You're screwing over an entire group of people just to please Sony. Us console players, we're used to PC having far more advanced versions of games. That's just the norm. Even with these shiny new consoles, that's gonna be the fucking norm because it's PC. We deal with it. We'd rather have the comfortability and the convenience of a console over the complicatedness of a PC. They're complicated to put together. They're pretty expensive unless you get the parts in the right place. I've been talking to a couple people who help me try and build a really cheap PC that's really good. Because I want to get into PC gaming, I do. Because there's a lot of good deals on Steam. And the games just look fucking amazing. But, these consoles are just for me. They're less complicated, they're just easier to sit down and play. And that's our trade-off. We trade comfort and just general ease of play over high-fidelity graphics. That's the trade-off that we do. So we're used to lesser ports on consoles. That is just a fucking norm, and if you don't believe that, then you're just delusional. Okay, that's the normal. I've accepted it. Pretty much everybody else has accepted. You need to accept it too. We're not idiots, Ubisoft. You don't have to treat us like idiots. Apparently you think we are. That or Sony convinced you to think that we are. I don't know. I don't want to hate Sony, but this is definitely their doing. I know it. I know it is Sony's doing. And that sucks. That sucks. You know, and of course any company would do this. Microsoft would do this in a heartbeat if they could. But Sony, they were in the right place to be able to do something like this. And if we can confirm that this is Sony's doing, we need to have their fucking head on a stake. Make sure they never pull this shit again. It's not right to screw over an entire group of gamers. This is almost as bad as the parity clause that Microsoft had for downloadable titles. Almost as bad. If you don't know about that, the parity clause that Microsoft had was your downloadable title has to release day and date at the same time it does on other platforms, or it has to arrive first on Microsoft platforms. Otherwise, you can't release it on our system. So it says, basically, you have to release it within the same release schedule, so within the same week. So like Xbox Live updates on Wednesday, PSN updates on Tuesday, I think. So you have to either release it in that small window together, or you can't release it at all. That was the old parity clause. They've gotten rid of that now, but that was really fucking shitty, right? And this whole Sony parity thing that they've got going on here, where like the PC cannot be that more advanced than the console version, otherwise ours looks like shit, we won't sell enough copies, and we really need this to push our system. And that sucks, you know? That's really, really dirty, that's really, really low, and that's fucking terrible. And honestly, now that I've seen some stuff at E3, this makes a lot of sense. If you notice, Ubisoft is really... They've always really been in bed with Sony. Always. Always. The Assassin's Creed series has always been heavily associated with Sony. The only thing that had Ubisoft anything at Sony's presser this year, Far Cry 4. And honestly, that's probably been in the works for years, because that game comes out this year. They had a big deal with Far Cry 3 being some kind of exclusive co-op missions or something on PS3. I can't remember. But, pardon me. But like I said, that deal's probably been cooking for a long time. All right, we've known about Far Cry 4 for a year at least. And the worst part, not the worst part, damn, you can tell it's late. The most telling part is the fact that Assassin's Creed appeared at the Xbox press conference this year. That is the most telling part. That shows that Ubisoft feels burned about this Watch Dogs deal with Sony. They're just like, no, we don't feel right about this. We gotta get away. We gotta get away. And the best way they can get away is going to the other side. Now, there's no kind of exclusive content for either system. Just having Assassin's Creed Unity premiere at the Xbox conference is sticking it to Sony. Because that series has always been associated with Sony. The mind share for Assassin's Creed has always been with Sony. So I see that as Ubisoft pushing themselves away from Ubisoft. There was another Ubisoft game that showed at Microsoft's too, wasn't it? I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember. E3 is a blur. I know they showed Rainbow Six Siege, which is pretty fucking cool. But that's just... Oh, The Division! The Division! That's right, The Division. That actually has Xbox exclusive content. The Division showed at the Xbox. So that's two Ubisoft titles that showed at the Microsoft press conference. So I just see that as Ubisoft pushing away from Sony. Just like, hey, we don't feel right about this. We gotta go. Sorry. I think Sony just pushed them a little too far. They bit the hand that fed them. You know? And honestly, Ubisoft, if you're watching this, any of your reps are watching this, you need to go public with what the hell happened. If Sony forced you to do this, you need to tell us. You need to go public. It's not going to hurt you at all. This can only help you. I mean, some people brought up the point, well, if they expose Sony, then Sony won't want their games on the system anymore. No, Sony needs games like Assassin's Creed and any future Watch Dogs titles and Far Cry and The Division. They need those on their system. They won't say no to any publishers. If they do, they'll just go exclusive PC and Microsoft, completely cut out Sony. Sony, They just have to bend over and take it if you expose them. And that's honestly the best thing you can do. Because otherwise, you look like the shits. And honestly, you are at fault too for accepting the fucking money. But if this was Sony's idea, and they're to blame here, you need to expose this. You need to expose this. Don't be like Sega and Gearbox for ACM and just completely ignore any questions. Just let it slip on the rug. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because we don't even know who really developed ACM. I have a very big suspicion that it was Timegate. Because, honestly, everything but that first level of that campaign feels like Timegate shit. Timegate cannot they couldn't make fucking good games. Sorry. Section 8 and Section 8 Prejudice were fucking terrible. Their campaigns were fucking terrible. And it definitely felt like Section 8. It just wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. You fucked up the story in that Timegate. The first mission of ACM, really fucking good. It feels like Gearbox quality. If you notice, that was the one level they showed off at E3 in the high graphics. I think Gearbox made this awesome graphic engine. They made a few levels for ACM. They sent it out to Timegate to finish it, and Timegate fucked it up. But because contracts and Gearbox just like, oh god, we fucked up. We don't want to talk about this. And Sega losing $65 million on the development of it. They just don't want to talk about it. And that really, really, really hurt that game. That hurt that game more than anything, and the fact that they didn't talk. If you want Watch Dogs to be a successful franchise, Ubisoft, you have to fucking talk. You have to say what happened. Otherwise, the next time Watch Dogs 2 rolls around, it's going to have a negative cloud surrounding it. I mean, it's already going to have a negative cloud now that this shit has been unveiled, but you've got to fix this. Otherwise, the future of your franchise is very grim. Now, I would still buy it. Watch Dogs 2. I love this game. I love this game a lot. I like, it's a franchise that I'm looking forward to. I mean, if it went annual, I would buy it every single year because I had that much fun playing that game. But a lot of people, specifically the PC crowd, won't. That's a big market. That is a big fucking market that you're going to screw yourselves over in. Do you want that? Do you? I know I wouldn't. So this is just a message from a console gamer to Ubisoft. Please tell us what happened with this. If just the lines of code or the wording for the code were there, but you couldn't access them, that would be understandable. Just having the source code be inside the disk. Oh, okay, this makes sense. They just didn't put it in the game. No, the actual code is in the game and accessible. You can play the game at the E3 2012 quality, and it actually makes the game run better, look better, and overall better. That baffles me. That really baffles me. And I'm at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for words. Oh, also on the line of PC code, there is a sentence attached to one of the E3 demos. And this is in the source code. Numerous people have found this. One of the developers wrote, "This is PC. No one cares." Let that sink in for a minute. Ubisoft, you done fucked up. You done fucked up. You need to correct this wrong. I said, I love Watch Dogs. And I'm a console gamer. That's definitely a console game. But this PC port, this is a major fuck ton of fuck ups. I don't know what the fuck I just said. This is bad. This is really bad. And this is honestly the worst thing that could have happened to you. It is really bad. Luckily, all the PC gamers are right now, most of them are taking, oh, I can play the game E3 2012 quality? Yeah. It hasn't really sunk in yet that, wait a minute, we got screwed. And the only way we got saved was because a couple modders decided to take a looky-loo at the code. And in all honesty, they're probably going to patch it out. They're probably going to patch it out because it's a simple mod that a ton of people already downloaded. So, it's time for me to go to sleep. I gotta upload this video, then I'm gonna hit the hay. But Ubisoft, you gotta fix this. You gotta correct this wrong. This is very disappointing. You're one of my favorite companies. You know, you do a really good job. But screwing a group of gamers over like this, that is bullshit. I can understand for that. And you need to fix this. If you don't, you will have hell to pay. Not for me personally, but from a large number of people. The fate of your Watch Dogs franchise holds in the balance. And what you say next regarding this source code, regarding this mod, can change everything. Please think about your words. Please be honest. Be forthcoming. Let it all out. If this is Sony's fault, be fucking honest. You can't get screwed over because Sony needs you. Honesty is what's best for you, what's best for the gamers, it's what's best for everyone. You need to stand up and actually be the honest group and differentiate yourself from other developers. In an age where we are filled with lies and PR marketing spiel where, oh, we gotta make the game look the best. You can make a difference here by saying that you screwed up and just letting it all out. Anyways, I'm just a ignorant fat guy from Alabama. What do I know? But definitely Ubisoft, you need to fix this.